Would you like some good quality anime merch? Well, you can get that from our sponsor today, Beautiful Halo, link in the description. And on your next $49 plus order, get 5% off with the code MEME, and $99 plus order use code MEME for 10% off. Welcome back, guys. This is THEKINGofWEEBS here, and this is wife Ashura's spirit actually raised Naruto, and this is part 3 finale. Yes, this will be the final part. And last time we have left off with Sai actually going with the Orochimaru, and of course here Team 7 follows along. Of course, Naruto still takes a while to recover, but in the end they actually still go and find Sai, and yeah, yeah. Of course, here, so they still find Sasuke, and the same, of course, Sasuke still goes into Naruto's mind, but not only does he see the Nine Tails, but he sees something else. Sasuke actually sees a chakra, which then the chakra actually looks into Sasuke's soul and realizes who this is. Of course, Ashura knew that his brother was in someone, and he didn't really know he was so close to Naruto, to be honest. Of course, Sasuke still then meets the Nine Tails, because the Nine Tails actually starts coming out, and of course he says that he looks exactly like Madara Uchiha, and basically Sasuke actually takes the Nine Tails out. And just saying, Sasuke is really well, really weaker than Naruto, and is what is. Anywho, Sasuke's story will remain the exact same here, but is what is Naruto. Anywho, then actually it says Sasuke just come back to the village, and basically, of course, Sasuke was about to actually, slice off Naruto's neck, but of course Naruto isn't playing around, and so he actually body flickers and tries to kick, Naruto then actually uses his lightning cloak to actually try to kick Sasuke, but Sasuke was actually barely fast enough to actually dodge and then basically escapes. Of course, Naruto gets pretty pissed, but he is what he is. He's too tired to follow Sasuke at this point after the fight against Orochimaru, and yeah, returns to the village. And once he returns, of course, they hear about Asuma's death, and of course Naruto, since he doesn't really have to train, he's just taking his time and just hanging out with his friends. Anywho, of course, now Naruto, after hearing this, he realizes that he has to go with them, and he actually goes with Sasuke, Kakashi, not Sasuke, Kakashi, Sakura, Sai, and Yamato, and team 10. Anywho, after this, Naruto and the new team actually go off to actually find the two Akatsuki members, and they do find them real fast, to be honest. It doesn't take too long to actually find them, but it is what it is. Shikamaru goes off on his own as always, and so Naruto actually tells Sai and Sakura to go with him and help him out, and of course Yamato stay and Choji and actually stay back, and yeah, I was about to say Yagoro for some reason. Yamato and Kakashi stay back with Naruto. Of course, Yamato would have went with the others, but of course Naruto has the Nine Tails, and this is dangerous. Anywho, now Naruto and Kakashi, Naruto, and Yamato, Kakashi, Naruto, and Yamato. Anywho, they all begin their fight, and now, of course, Naruto actually blitzes Kakuzu, but Kakuzu was actually able to stop Naruto's kick by actually wrapping his I'm not sure what to call them. I'll call them threads, and is ways. I don't want to call them tentacles. Anywho, and then swings Naruto around and throws him to the into a hill. Into the ground pretty much. And then Kakashi comes out of nowhere from the smoke, and with a Chidori actually tries to stab Kakuzu in the heart, but Kakuzu actually dodges it and then gets binded by Yamato's wood binding, but Zabuza, I said Zabuza, Kakuzu, I don't know what's going on. Anywho, Kakuzu then lets out all 5 hearts of his, and he breaks out easily, cracks his neck, and then says who's next. And Naruto then out of nowhere actually starts running towards Kakazu with the Rasen Shuriken in his hand. But as soon as he comes close, Kakazu actually annihilates him by actually stabbing him with his arm. And yes, Kakazu literally did that, and basically Naruto turned into a clone. And well, he didn't even just turn into he turned into lightning. Sorry, not a clone. Not turned into a clone. And Naruto turned into lightning and tried to electrocute Kakazu, but Kakazu actually was able to stop the electricity by actually using his earth release on his arm and literally shake off the electricity. I'll say that he can do that just for plot convenience. And basically then Kakazu uses his fire and wind his fire and wind hearts to actually create a massive fire hurricane. And basically this is what actually gets Naruto kind of triggered, because he's like, god damn it, do I really have to use this? And basically then Naruto actually decides to go into his water and lightning form. And yeah, of course Naruto lets out some of his water. No, not some, he literally stomps on the ground and says water style, water water shockwave. And basically the shockwave actually goes everywhere. And then Naruto says, alright, Captain Yamato, protect Kakashi sensei. And Kakashi's like, wait, what? And basically then Yamato's like, alright, I got it. And picks up Kakashi and takes him to a little log of, well, not a log, a massive tree he created. And basically Naruto actually used his lightning release onto the water to create a massive lightning lightning stream. But of course Kakazu wasn't affected much by it. Only the water heart was affected, and Naruto actually blitzed the water heart and literally used a Rasen Shuriken to annihilate it, even though the Rasen Shuriken actually disappeared midway, actually taking the heart into the air. Then a massive explosion happened, and Kakazu actually used Earth Grudge on Naruto, but Naruto was too fast and was able to dodge it. Of course, then Naruto actually, one of his sides turned into fire, and the other one turned the lightning side turned red. The dark blue side turned red, and that was fire release. And then Naruto's light blue side actually turned into green. And basically, then Naruto said, fire style, fire combustion. And as soon as he says this, basically Naruto lets out a massive star of fire. Basically it's a bit similar to from Pokemon that I used to see, and I really liked it, to be honest. It's literally Charizard just screaming and screaming out a star of fire. I forgot the name of it. I haven't played Pokemon in so long, and yeah, I haven't watched it in like a month or two either. I have to catch up a lot. Anywho, now, of course, this was amplified by the wind release to create even a bigger one, and this scorched 3 of the hearts, the 3 other hearts remaining of Kakazu. And then Naruto actually used wind release to decapitate all of them, and he tried to destroy Kakazu too, but Kakazu was able to withstand it. And basically Kakazu tried to go and have his final stand against Naruto, but Naruto then says it's over and blitzes past him, and then has an actual Rasen Shuriken. And then the Rasen Shuriken, once he threw it, it turned red, and basically Kakazu got annihilated and got taken into the sky. And there was a massive red fireball. Well, it was actually the same explosion of the Rasen Shuriken, just that it's red, and it burns. And basically Kakazu's body was scorched. It was actually burnt up and cut up, and he fell to the ground. Of course, Kakazu was dead now, and while that was happening, Shikamaru actually took care of Hidan on his own, while Sakura and Sai were actually there on guard to actually help him out. But it is what it is. Anywho, of course, now, after this, once they actually return to the village, they hear about the news of Orochimaru getting killed by Sasuke, and Orochimaru still makes Team Heavy, I remember now, Team Heavy. And of course they go to find Itachi and Naruto here. I'm pretty sure there was an episode where Naruto was actually trying to stop Sasuke, and he sees him. And of course they all go, all of the Rookie 9, even Neji and Team Guy goes. And of course they fail, and of course Sasuke gets away. But after this, now Naruto of course gets pretty pissed and tries to follow along, but Kakashi tells him there's no point. You don't know, it's Sasuke, remember, don't follow him. And basically Naruto's like, god damn it. And after this, he goes back. Anywho, During this time, Jiraiya actually still went to Tsunade to actually tell her about, the pain, and how he wants to go and find more info about pain, and of course Tsunade declines. Anyway, after declining, Jiraiya then says why not, and basically Tsunade says that it's too dangerous. We don't know how. Oh, you've seen how strong every Akatsuki member is. Do you really think you can go and find out information about the leader of the Akatsuki? If they consider him as the leader, do you not know how strong he can be? And basically, Jiraiya says, I do know how strong he could be. I believe he might even be one of my students. And basically, and Tsunade is like, what do you mean? And basically, Jiraiya then explains that he's been hearing rumors that the Akatsuki leader actually has the Rinnegan, and it kind of shakes Tsunade to the core. And remember, the Rinnegan is something feared amongst shinobi. Even normal people hear about the Rinnegan and they're like, holy damn, the Rinnegan, hey, I'm out, G. Nah, I ain't versing him, bro. I'm good. I don't even know what the Rinnegan does, but yeah, it can kill. This Age of 6 has that. Anywho, now Naruto, anywho. I haven't said that enough these days. Anywho. Now, I should just upload a video of me saying anywho for a full hour. Yo, I should do that. Anywho, now, Naruto, who actually goes back to the village, pissed off, actually overhears this conversation, and basically Naruto decides to actually go together with, Jiraiya. But of course, here Naruto really doesn't have a chance because he does not have Sage Mode yet. Anywho, of course, Jiraiya actually senses Naruto and literally tells him to go back. And Naruto on his way there, Naruto actually senses. Naruto gets caught by Jiraiya, and Jiraiya tells him to go back to the village, please. This is a mission that he has to handle on his own. And basically Naruto, so why? You're doing this because of me, aren't you? And basically Jiraiya's like, even if it's because of you, I have to do it alone. This is to prove myself that I am worthy to be your teacher. And basically Naruto's like, but it's unfair, I want to go to. And basically then Jiraiya says, Naruto, listen to me, I'm your sensei. You have to understand that this is not a mission for you, it's for me. I'm doing this on my own. This is a Sani level mission. You cannot be in here. Understood? And basically Naruto's like, but why? And basically Jiraiya's like, listen Naruto, go back. This is too dangerous. I'll come back and I'll give you information about the Akatsuki leader, and then we can destroy him together, okay? And Naruto then says, that's a promise, right? And basically Jiraiya's like, yes, I shall try to keep that promise. And basically Naruto's like, try? Are you sure you will keep it? And Jiraiya's like, yeah, okay. Now go back. Anywho, now Naruto, who has returned, actually has a bad feeling about this, but of course Naruto trusts Jiraiya. And during this time, of course, Sasuke still actually goes to fight Itachi. And yeah, of course, the fight against Itachi is actually a lot different here. Sorry, not a lot different. It's completely the same here, but it's kind of more entertaining because Sasuke hates Naruto a bit more here, especially because of how he got annihilated by Naruto multiple times. Even in the Valley of the End, he heard that Naruto actually was able to destroy all the Sound Four, which Sasuke was actually scared of without Curse Mark 1, without Curse Mark 2. And he was like, god damn, he destroyed all of them, and wow. And that kind of motivated him to become even stronger, but it is what it is. Now, of course, Itachi dies the same way, and Sasuke still joins the Akatsuki. And now, Jiraiya, who has been fighting, the Akatsuki leader, and in the end, he unfortunately dies, of course, because plot convenience. Anywho, now, Naruto actually, he still gives the code to Lord Fukasaku, and of course that frog toad comes back, and of course Naruto gets summoned to the Hokage's office, and basically Naruto goes with Kakashi, and he sees the, Gamabunta and the rest, and basically Naruto's like, no, please don't be what I think he is. And basically, of course, Naruto then runs in and basically says, what's Jiraiya Sensei, tell me now, lady. Bachan, please tell me what Jiraiya is, and basically, and Tsunade then well, they get interrupted by Lord Fukusaki the Toad. Anywho, Naruto's like, and who's this Toad geezer Toad? And basically, Tsunade is like, Naruto, respect him. And basically, Naruto's like, just who is he? He has nothing to do with us right now. And basically, then of course, Tsunade explains that this is well, Shizune explains that this is the teacher of Jiraiya, the one that taught him Sage Mode, Sage Chakra, and how to use Sage Mode and control nature energy. And Naruto widens his eyes and basically apologizes. And yeah, anywho, now Lord Fukusaku goes on to explain to Naruto that Jiraiya has been killed in battle, and this pisses off Naruto. He's like, God damn it, he promised me that he'll come back. And basically Naruto still goes into his depressed state for a few hours, and of course gets motivated within the next 2 days by both Shikamaru and Iruka. And his ways. After this, Naruto finds out what the code meant, and so he goes off to train with on Sage Mode. Of course, here Ashura was actually pretty worried about Naruto, and so he actually gives Naruto tips. Remember, Ashura is a sage himself. Remember, he can use a sage with Sage Mode, and so Ashura actually unlocks something else for Naruto. And basically, of course, Naruto actually hears Ashura talking to him, and basically Ashura says, I'll give you a gift, Naruto. And Naruto's like, what? And as soon as he says this, and Naruto could feel a new chakra nature inside of him. And basically Naruto, Ashura explains in his mind to actually use both water and earth release together. Sorry guys, I'm really tired. I need to have a shower, so I need to be quick about this. Anywho, after this, Naruto actually uses it in Mount Myoboku, and basically Naruto realizes that he can actually use wood release for some reason. And anywho, now Ashura tells Naruto that that's a little consolation gift from him to Naruto, and Naruto thanks him. And basically Ashura gives him one more tip, that this wood style has its own Sage Mode, and he can learn it too. And basically Naruto tries to understand how to use it, and basically what he has to do is actually just do normal Sage Mode training. And once he masters Sage Mode, not only does Naruto's eyes go have the orange pigment, but the eyes still remain the same, but the pigment actually goes blue. And yes, that's a new thing that I actually implemented it once before in one of my ways. Now Naruto has both Sage Modes, and so he actually returns to the village. But of course here the village was pretty much gone, and yeah, Naruto still saves Tsunade with the one punching the Naraka path. And then basically Naruto's what's next, and basically sees all the paths of pain. And basically Naruto puts out one just looks up, and basically multiple branches of multiple branches spawn from the ground, and all of the paths of pain actually jump up. And the Diva path actually decides to use almighty push on those branches. Had to yawn this, sorry guys. Anywho, now after this, Naruto realizes of course Katsuyu comes to him and tells him that all the paints have shared vision, and tells him all the information he needed. And basically Naruto's like, alright, cool. And so he actually tries to blitz one, actually the Diva path, because he thinks that that's the strongest one. But of course the animal one actually came in the way and punched Naruto, and then actually summoned the animals. And of course Naruto, having Gamabunta, the other two Toads, those guys actually attack the other animal summonings. And basically Naruto then gets attacked by both the human path and the King of Hell path, and they both tried to one-shot Naruto, but Naruto actually was able to blitz both of them, not at the same time. Actually Naruto was actually able to take out the King of Hell path, because Naruto understands what the King of Hell path can do, and so he takes him out within one shot. And yes, I know they all have shade vision, but Naruto was so fast that they couldn't even see. As soon as they blinked, once they blinked and then reopened their eyes, the king of hell path was actually decapitated, and basically then it was the human path, and basically Naruto actually kicks the human path in the face because he's so fast, and then actually does a backflip from his face and throws a Rasen Shuriken. Of course, the human path tries to escape, but of course he got annihilated, and then basically Naruto actually the body flickers towards the summoning path, and basically Naruto just breaks her neck, and basically now Naruto actually throws a vanishing Rasengan towards the Diva path, but of course the chakra absorbing path comes in the way, and the tries to absorb the chakra, but the Rasengan actually disappeared, and so actually got rid of the barrier, and thinking that Naruto's out of chakra, and then smiles, and basically I don't know, he gets his head gets blown off, and basically Naruto comes out and kicks the Diva path in the chest, but right before he could do that, of course he got almighty pushed, and basically the Diva path's like, interesting, Naruto's a marquee, you're pretty strong for someone your rank, and A rank Genin, and basically Naruto's a sharp, and is already next to the Diva path, and the Diva path actually has no time to recover. Well, the cooldown only had the second left, and right before Naruto was able to actually elbow the the Diva path actually used almighty push to actually push him away, and then Naruto, who actually hit the ground pretty hard there, the Diva path actually blitzed Naruto and used the chakra absorbing rods to actually stab Naruto up, and basically Naruto then asks, why are you doing this, and basically then they have this little speech, and I'm gonna thank you for giving me the speech, giving me permission to use this words beyond fiction. I'll roll the clip now.
You asked me why I'm doing all this, but even if I told you why, I doubt very strongly that the knowledge would change anything at all. But let's say that I take the time to explain it to you. What do you think would happen then? My goal is to fulfill the dream even Jiraiya-sensei was unable to achieve. What I want is to create peace and bring about justice. Oh, I see. That is noble of you. That would be justice. However, what about my family? My friends? My village? They suffer the same fate as this village at the hands of you Hidden Leaf Ninja. How is it fair to let only you people preach about peace and justice? Once, the Land of Fire and the Hidden Leaf had grown too big. To protect their national interests, they forced feudal clans to wage war against each other, and profited from it. Otherwise, the people of the villages would have starved. As it happened, our little nation and its villages became the battlefield where the great nations waged their war. Each time they did, our nation was ravaged and laid to waste. After many such battles, the great nation stabilized, but our smaller nation suffered, and it barely recovered. You and I are both seeking the very same thing. We both want to achieve the peace that Jiraiya-sensei envisioned. You and I are the same. We're both motivated by our desire for peace and justice. The justice that I have delivered against the Leaf Village is no different from what you are trying to do to me. Everyone feels the same pain when losing something dear. You and I have both experienced that pain. You strive for your justice, and I strive for mine. We're both just ordinary men who have been driven to seek vengeance in the name of justice. And if one comes to call vengeance justice, such justice will only breed further vengeance and trigger a vicious cycle of hatred. Right now, we live in such a cycle. I know the past and can foretell our future. It is the same as our history. So we believe that human beings simply cannot understand each other, and they never will. The shinobi world of ours is ruled by hatred, and hatred alone. So, Naruto, how would you confront this hatred in order to create peace? I want to know what your answer is.
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Anywho, after this, Naruto, out of nowhere, actually sees Hinata coming in, and yes, this will be a Hinata ship, and it won't change how the ship actually happened, and so the ship will happen as per normal, just like in the original, and I'm trying to keep this as realistic as I can, and then, basically, Hinata takes care of, yeah, takes care of, in quotation marks, of, Pain, or shall I say, of Naruto's anger. Literally, Pain gets annihilates Hinata, and basically Hinata still confesses, but then Naruto, who lost all control, gives up and literally allows the Ninetales to take control, and Naruto's already on five tails, and the six tails then spawns real quick, and once the seven tails actually spawns, and the eight tails, by the time the eight tails actually spawns, Naruto's actually kinda about to kill Pain, but then Nagato actually used the the planetary devastation to actually capture Naruto, and yeah, after this, Naruto, who was in the planetary devastation, he was about to let out the Ninetales and basically let it take control, but out of nowhere Minato actually comes in, and of course here the same thing happens, how Minato and Naruto actually meet, and yeah, of course Naruto then actually comes out with his Sage mode, but not only that, Naruto is letting out a ton of lightning and water, and the only reason he's doing that is because of Naruto wanting to paralyze the Pain quickly, and basically Naruto actually throws a Rasen Shuriken with water release on it onto the ground, and Pain actually was able to dodge it, and that actually created a massive water shockwave, and then Naruto actually threw a vanishing Rasen Shuriken, which actually vanished, and basically Pain thought this is his time, and out of nowhere he gets electrocuted, and basically Naruto comes in out of nowhere in front of him using body flicker and increasing speed with his cloak, and literally the Rasengan's Pain to the chest, and Pain is pretty much gone. And Naruto then actually reverse tracks Nagato and Konan, and still here the same thing happens, how Naruto gives the Takuno Jutsu to Nagato, and Nagato tells Naruto that he's going to revive everyone that got killed in the Leaf Village. Anywho, everyone still was considered Naruto as the new hero, but still Tsunade was still in the coma, and while this was all happening, Killer Bee still gets captured but escapes, and here the same things happen. For example, the 5 Kage Summit goes per normal, and of course Sasuke wants to attack it, but Naruto this time, he's actually left with Sai and the Kakashi and Yamato, and of course Sakura wants to kill Sasuke, and now that Naruto is a sage, he actually understands Sasuke even better than before, and so he actually goes, and of course he meets Madara, or the masked man Toby, and basically here he's like, you're the one who's hired Sasuke, wasn't it? And basically Madara's like, don't need to get too angry, and plus Sasuke joined out of his own free will, and basically then Naruto's like, what do you mean? And basically tells the truth about Itachi to Naruto, and Naruto's like, god damn. And of course Sasuke attacks the 5 Kage Summit to kill Danzo, and in the end he's actually able to kill Danzo, and Naruto, who actually of course Naruto of course came out of nowhere to actually save Sakura, well, after Kakashi saved her, and the only reason Sakura isn't doing much is because she's kind of depressed that she has to kill Sasuke, but his way is Naruto comes in to save her and basically tells Sasuke that if they fight, they'll both die, and the only reason he's saying that because Naruto actually knows that he's actually stronger than Sasuke right now, and plus Sasuke, look at him, he's blind, then tells him that they will both die, and basically Sasuke laughs, saying that maybe you will, and as soon as he's about to attack Naruto, basically the Rasengan and the Chidori, of course they both fail, and they both get blown backwards, and of course Toby arrives and he declares war upon the five nations for the 8 tails and the 9 tails. Just saying, the Raikage actually got the notice that the 8 tails is still alive. He actually escaped, and Killer B is okay. He's in the Cloud Village, and basically, of course, after this the war was announced, and yeah, Kabuto still came to Obito to help him out, and saying that all he wants is Sasuke, and Obito's that showing Sasuke is still going on the recovery to get the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Anywho, Naruto still sent to to the same place, and of course he actually has to get rid of his hate, especially because Ashura told him, and so he does. And during the fight against the 9 tails, he still meets his mother, and of course his mother helps him, not hates him. I was about to say hates him. Not Kushina helps Naruto master the 9 tails' chakra, and here, of course, right before he actually left his mindscape, Ashura actually patted Naruto on the head, saying that he's doing well, and he actually gave Naruto even more chakra, and a new chakra release. And basically Naruto's like, what did you give me now? And basically Ashura is that, I gave you the ability to use Ice Release, and the only reason I'm giving Naruto Ice Release is because Ashura pretty much has every single chakra nature, I'm pretty sure, especially because he got all of the power from the Sage of Success. If you can remember, like I said in my other parts, the Sage of Success gave everything to Ashura. That's why Indra actually got Bay Pierced, and then basically Indra of course lost to Ashura by his ways, and that's why he actually shared out his power between Ashura's reincarnation and Indra's reincarnation. Or if he did the same thing, and in giving Ashura all the power, so basically Naruto, he would have caused even more conflict by his ways. Now of course Naruto got Ice Release, and so of course he's in his KCM1 state, and he still sees Samahada, and basically of course here Kisame gets kills himself after giving in the info to Kabuto, and of course Yamato still got kidnapped by the snake, the new snake, Kabuto. Anyway, of course Naruto and the Killer Bee escape and go into the war, and they still go through the battle against Tsunade and the Raikage, and the Raikage actually sees how much stronger the Naruto is than himself, and Naruto is easily able to blitz the Raikage and actually punch him to the Raikage. He actually punched the Raikage to the ground, and Naruto's like, you understand, I am the child of the savior, and I am the savior of this world now. And basically then Naruto smiles like Minato did and leaves. Of course the Raikage then says, you better come back alive, kid. And basically of course Naruto allows all his clones to go into each battlefield, and here he still goes up against Itachi and Nagato's reincarnations, and of course here the same things happen until basically Itachi and of course Itachi until Madara actually gets revived, and basically Itachi and Sasuke still go to fight Kabuto, and of course Naruto still fights the tail beasts, and this is where he actually gets KCM2 and all the power of the tail beasts, and Indra actually allowed Naruto to actually have a greater mastery over those chakra natures that he got. And after this, now Naruto of course returns to the battlefield, and just saying, since Gaara didn't fully die here, Gaara actually has half of Shukaku, and he's another Jinchuriki. And so during this few months, Gaara actually became a lot stronger by actually mastering Shukaku's strength, and Shukaku actually helps him out. And so he's actually able to use a lot more sand, and he's actually a lot stronger. He's actually one of the strongest characters in the whole entire series right now. Of course, when Madara arrived, it doesn't really matter how much more power I gave to Gaara. Even if you had the full One Tails, you really wouldn't have made any difference against Madara. But here, since Naruto's clone is still there, Naruto can use both Ice Release and would release. And so when Madara actually uses his wood, his meteorites, Naruto, not only does he help out by actually freezing the meteorite, but the second one which hit on Oki, Naruto actually stops it with wood release and ice release at the same time. And he's actually created a whole entire sculpture of two meteorites falling on top of each other. But still, Madara was pretty impressed, and basically, of course, started fighting with all of his power. But now Madara's had enough. After Naruto's clone actually got destroyed, and actually used another third meteorite to destroy everyone. But of course, even though after a lot of people died, the 5 Kage arrived, and basically that kind of rhymed. That rhymed as well. Even though a lot of people died, the 5 Kage arrived, and then even though a lot of people, what am I saying? Anywho, now, lol, lol. Even though a lot of people died, the 5 Kage arrived. That rhymed, whatever. Anywho, now Naruto, of course, knows what's happening, and of course now Obito actually revives the Ten Tails by using just a little bit of Kinkaku and Genkaku. And of course, since half of the One Tails is not in the Ten Tails, the Ten Tails is actually a lot weaker here, especially because literally the whole Nine Tails is not in there, just a little bit. Anywho, now and the whole 8 tails only one of the tentacles. Of course, the fight is still hard, and in the end, Naruto was about to die. But of course, all the Shinobi alliances actually, all of the Shinobi from the Shinobi Alliance actually united, and they tried to stop the tentacles, but that was useless. And of course, they were about to die. And Minato, of course, Sasuke finding out everything about Itachi, he actually went on to actually find his old team Taka now, I'm pretty sure, and of course takes them with Orochimaru to actually find revive the 4 Kage. And just saying, Karin is still rescued basically, because remember, Karin was still in the Leaf Village. And anywho, now after this, Sasuke and the 4 Kage actually leave for the battlefield, and Orochimaru actually goes to help out the 5 Kage. Of course, here everything pretty much plays out similar until basically Naruto and Ashura. Yes, Naruto and Sasuke actually. Naruto, everyone pretty much sees that Obito becomes the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, and that's where the true big changes happen. Naruto and Ashura actually decide to actually unite together, and Ashura says his final goodbyes to Naruto, and basically Naruto says, "I'm sorry, Ashura. I couldn't master your strength on my own. I didn't have enough time." And basically Ashura is like, even if I gave you an extra year, I'm pretty sure you weren't going to master on your own. It would take you decades to get to this strength, but it's fine. Anywho, this will be my last time talking to you. I hope you have a good time with the Nine Tails, and you, Kurama, take good care of Naruto. And basically Kurama nods, and basically Naruto and Ashura actually fuse together. Naruto's chakra and Ashura's chakra fuse together, and basically Naruto actually starts summons all the 9 Truth Seeker orbs, and basically he goes into his Riku's Senin, not Sage, he actually goes into his Sage of Six Paths form. And of course he still isn't strong enough, because he didn't get the full power boost, because of course Naruto becomes the tail beast, the Jinchuriki of all the tail beasts, and he actually gets a lot more tail beast power from the Sage of Six Paths. And I know this might be wrong, but this is only for plot convenience, please allow it. Anywho, here Naruto still gets the tail beast sucked out of him after, of course, getting all the tail beast out of sorry, after Naruto and Sasuke together actually get out all the tail beasts. Naruto is still sealed away. Not Naruto, the Nine Tails is still sealed away, and Naruto still dies pretty much, and goes into his mindscape, where he actually meets the Sage of Six Paths, and the Sage of Six Paths actually praises Naruto, and basically gives him even more power, and basically tells him that he did he even got his own son to actually trust in Naruto, and basically he now entrusts Naruto with pretty much everything. Of course, Sasuke is still going together in the Sharingan, but Naruto actually gets a bit more power, and so the Sage of Six Paths actually allows Naruto to get regenerative Truth Seeker orbs, and the only reason I'm giving this to Naruto, I know he's not the Tento's Jinchuriki, but I'm doing this because plot armor, and Naruto needs to be overpowered. Anywho, sorry for the ear rape, but anywho, now Naruto and Sasuke still still talking to Sage's past about their dreams and ideals, and during this time, Might Guy still went into his night guy form and put up an amazing fight. Of course, that fight was sick and I loved it so much, and it is what it is. Now of course, Might Guy was about to die and Madara still survived, and that was pretty freaking plot twist. Madara survives and Might Guy dies. I'm joking, of course. Madara survives and Might Guy dies. Anywho, now Naruto still came back and saved the Might Guy, and just saying here, Neji never dies. Neji never got killed. I'm joking, Neji got killed. Anywho, now sorry Neji fans. Anywho, now Naruto and Sasuke actually, of course, unite, and basically their fight begins, and here Madara actually regenerates all of his power and says, "Come at me, you two." And basically as soon as he says this, Naruto and Sasuke actually fight together, and of course, Naruto is actually putting up an amazing fight, and Sasuke actually got stabbed by Madara's Truth Seeker orb rod, and he got blown back, and basically he was getting healed, and Naruto was taking on Madara on his own. Even though Naruto couldn't see Madara's limbo clones, he could sense them, but still Naruto had a harder time, especially without Sasuke. But of course Naruto pulled it off and got a few hits in Madara, and basically used his Truth Seeker orbs to actually hurt Madara a bit, but then Madara actually countered up with Truth Seeker orbs. Of course Sasuke now actually was about to get back into the fight, but Naruto actually created a katana just like Sasuke's with his Truth Seeker orb, and basically gave a battle cry, and basically Naruto went into his Sage of Six Paths state. Yes, Naruto wasn't even KCM2. Naruto wasn't even using KCM2 yet, and basically now Naruto's fighting with his true power, and basically annihilating Madara, and basically using both Earth, Earth, wood release and ice release together. And of course now Sasuke comes in by actually teleporting behind a bit of ice, and basically he Chidori's Madara into oblivion. But of course Madara Naruto actually takes care of the God tree, and basically Madara absorbs there, and yeah, now Madara uses the infinite Tsukuyomi. Before that, of course, he uses the meteorites thing, but of course right before he uses right before they hit, the infinite Tsukuyomi actually goes off, and basically Naruto actually threw a few those massive Rasen Shurikens, the tail beast massive Rasen Shuriken. Allow it, please. That was a tongue twister. Tongue twister. Anywho, now Sasuke, of course, actually blocked the infinite Tsukuyomi and saved the Kakashi, Obito, Naruto, and Sakura, and of course himself. And of course now I'm not going to give an extra Sharingan or something to Obito, even though Obito might survive here. I don't know, maybe not. And of course Obito was actually about to give Naruto his Kami to Kakashi, but then out of nowhere he sees that Madara actually got stabbed in the back, and basically Kaguya was getting revived. Of course now Naruto and Sasuke knew what was happening, and out of nowhere Kaguya actually appeared, and everyone was pretty much scared. The only survivors, which are Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, Kakashi, and Obito, they look at and of course the reanimations, they all can see Kaguya, and they can see, and Naruto, who's a sensory ninja, can feel the immense amount of pressure, and he's like, this is Kaguya Otsutsuki. And basically Sasuke, even though he's not a sensory ninja, he can feel the pressure, and he doesn't understand how scary Kaguya is, unlike Naruto, who can actually feel it. But of course here Naruto, even though he understood how scary Kaguya is, he's not going to just allow her to kill them. Naruto actually then says, alright, we'll have to finish it together. And basically, that's kind of wrong, but you know what I mean. Anywho, now Obito actually helps out, because you know how Kaguya uses her dust rods, the dust turning rods, What's a good name? Let me think about it. Dusters. Anywho, now Naruto, who was about to get hit by one, actually uses one of his truth seeker orbs, which actually isn't affected by anything, by those dusters. And anywho, of course, Naruto actually uses 3 truth seeker orbs to protect both, all 3 of the other guys. And of course, Sasuke was actually able to teleport away from them, and he's strong enough to actually get rid of them. Anywho, of course, then Sasuke actually got teleported away. Teleported to a different dimension, or Kami, you could say he just got warped away. Anywho, now Naruto was left alone, and here the same thing happens with Obito. And of course, Obito, in the end, of course, how Sasuke comes back, and they all put in the gravitational dimension. Of course, how they're about to get Naruto and Sasuke are about to get killed. Obito and Kakashi were actually going towards Naruto and Sasuke, but then Naruto looks at Kaguya, and basically his eyes actually sorry, not his eyes, his hair actually changes color from orange. Basically his hair goes blue, and basically Naruto is using his lightning release cloak, and basically not only blue but even light blue, light and dark blue. Naruto's hair actually goes into those 2 colors, and basically Naruto actually stands up and basically creates a lightning slash water wall, which actually block the dust rods, and basically they engulf them and they destroy them. And then Naruto was only able to do this because of his Sage of 6 powers. Anywho, now Naruto actually then blitzes Kaguya and actually starts to fight against her, but of course Kaguya actually starts fighting properly and going all out. Of course, Naruto was in trouble here, but Sasuke comes to the rescue and actually goes and kicks Kaguya to the face into the ground. But then out of nowhere, Kakashi actually with one of his eyes bleeding, same as Obito's. Obito's has actually one eye closed, and basically together they actually are using the Susanoo, and that is because Obito actually gave it shared a bit of his Sage of 6 powers with chakra with the Kakashi, and basically they actually bring Sakura together in this, and basically all together they're actually able to destroy them. And basically, of course, they still use the Kami, the Kamui lightning blade, and basically Sakura comes in and punches her in the head, and basically Naruto and Sasuke actually come in from both sides to actually seal Kaguya away. Of course, now after this Zetsu was actually trying to escape, but then Naruto says, "Where are you going?" And basically what he does is that he actually finally Naruto uses his earth style abilities. Naruto actually, with even though he has no cloak, he's actually able to manipulate earth at his will, and basically manipulates the earth that the little earth that Zetsu was in, and basically creates a little ball, which is kind of overpowered because Naruto can literally do a planetary devastation like this, and basically then Naruto throws it into the actual planetary devastation and says goodbye. And basically what he does is that he actually uses a Sun Shuriken towards Zetsu, and Zetsu gets annihilated, so Kaguya's will is gone. Of course, right before this, Kaguya actually started getting sealed away. Something that actually happened right before Naruto and Sasuke sealed Kaguya away. Something that Zetsu was able to do is that he actually stopped Sasuke's hand from touching Kaguya, and basically he was able to use himself as a protection, and Kaguya wasn't actually getting sealed away. Kaguya was actually fully aware of what's going on, and she wasn't like immobile or anything, and so she actually broke out the planetary devastation in a rage. And yes, this is a plot twist, and basically then she actually throws multiple duster rods towards Sasuke, but out of nowhere a Kami shuriken blade, or a shuriken, Kami shuriken, appears in front of Sasuke, and basically Naruto says, "Everyone get back." And basically Naruto then tells them to actually get out of this dimension, and he'll take care of Kaguya. And basically they're like, wait, what? And basically Naruto's like, this is the only chance. We can't seal her away. It's too hard for me and Sasuke. I'll just have to kill her. And Sasuke's like, wait, what do you mean, Naruto? And basically Naruto looks back and says, Obito, please. And Obito says, I trust you, Naruto. And basically, well, Kakashi says, me too, Naruto. And basically, together, they're actually able to drag Sakura and Sasuke away. And, of course, Sasuke's like, no, Naruto, don't do this. And basically, of course, Naruto smiles. And, of course, they're back in the real world. Of course, they see the Sage of Six Paths. And basically, Sasuke pleads with the Sage of Six Paths to actually let him go back to the dimension to help out Naruto. Naruto can't do this on his own, but then the Sage reassures him that Naruto is more than capable enough to do this on his own. Anywho, Naruto cracks his fingers, doing the thing when you're about to beat the shizer out of someone. You know what I mean? You know, this thing. I can't click my fingers because I'm weak. Yeah, this thing. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So Naruto's doing this and basically looks at Kaguya and says, "You're going to die today, Kaguya Otsutsuki. You've had your fun on this world for too long. Now you shall be killed by the hands of Naruto Uzumaki." And basically, Kaguya can see both, basically, her grandchild, Ashura, inside Naruto, and her son, Hagoromo Otsutsuki. Anywho, I'm pretty sure it should, yeah, Hagoromo Otsutsuki. Wait, I'll say both of her sons in Naruto. And basically she gets even more pissed, and she actually creates 1,000 dusters and literally throws them at Naruto. And basically Naruto, using a Truth Seeker Orb, actually creates a sword. And just saying, Naruto has all 9 of them. And so he's actually slicing through all of them. And he's actually using Ball Release to actually increase the durability of his body. And every time he actually gets hit by one, he realizes that they just melt away. So he's the duster pretty much. Anywho, Naruto increases his Ball Release and adds on top of that acid and lava release, and then blitzes Kaguya with the Rasen Shuriken, a massive one. And this Rasen Shuriken is actually pretty big. It's probably a bit bigger than the one that Naruto used against Madara, from the God Tree. Yeah, so then he hits Kaguya with it. Kaguya wasn't even fast enough to react. And yeah, Kaguya kind of got annihilated there. And she was really injured, but then Naruto actually went into his Kurama avatar, and then basically Naruto actually used the tail beast's chakra. And just saying, I know the tail beasts are all out, and he's actually using them from afar. And basically the tail beasts are just helping him out, and basically they're not actually joining the fight. It's basically just Naruto using it. And so basically now Naruto, who actually created 2 other Rasen Shurikens, and this was actually even faster than how Naruto did it against Sasuke, especially because there is a ton of nature energy, more nature energy than the Valley of the End. That's how much he's actually gotten. And so he actually throws the 2 Rasen Shurikens and kills Kaguya. After this, Naruto, anywho, now out of nowhere, Naruto is in a mist. Naruto literally looks around, and basically out of nowhere Kaguya arrives. Kaguya actually talks to Naruto just like Momoshiki did with Boruto, and basically just touches Naruto's face. And basically Naruto takes her hand and basically says, "Are you sure about this?" And basically Kaguya's like, "What are you going to do now?" And basically Naruto is like, "I'll kill you again if I have to." And Kaguya's like, "Don't get too cocky, kid. You only killed me because I was weakened." And basically Naruto's like, "Yeah, sure. Get out of my face." And basically then Naruto just comes back to reality. And then basically Naruto can feel an immense amount of pressure in his hand, and basically looks into his hand, looks on his palm, and there is a karma seal. I'll say that Naruto's karma seal is an actual it's one of them. Of course his karma seal is on the left side, since his dominant hand is the right side, and he has the sun there. He looks at his left hand, and I'll say that there is a star. It's not like a diamond shape like of course Momoshiki gave to Boruto, but it's actually a star, literally a full not a star like five sides, literally 4-sided star. You know what I mean. Anywho, now Naruto is like, what? But what is this? And basically, Naruto tries to using it, but he's not able to. But then actually asks the tail beast if they can help him. Basically, then. But they say no, and basically Naruto thinks about it, and basically since he has universal understanding, then understands how to use it, and basically then right before the Sage of Six Paths actually realizes that the fight is over. As soon as he realizes, then Naruto actually appears with a portal. Ew. Oh. After this, the Sage of Six Paths asks Naruto, and basically Naruto says, "Well, you see." And basically, he tells him that he wants to speak to him in private, and the Sage of Success is at calm, and takes him to a dimension of his own. And basically, Naruto shows him what he has in his hand. And this is the Sage of Success that I see, the Karma Seal. And basically, Naruto's that, so it's called the Karma Seal. And basically, the Sage explains a bit what he knows about it, and basically says that his mother might try to take control over him, so he should be careful. And Naruto's that calm. Anywho, after this, now Naruto, of course, actually comes back, and Sasuke this time doesn't decide to actually fight Naruto, because if Naruto actually killed Kaguya, and he knows he can't kill Kaguya on his own, and he thought that Naruto wouldn't be able to kill her without him, and so that's why he wanted to go with Naruto, because he thought that if he and Naruto went together, they might have had the chance, and that's the only reason he wanted to go. But of course, Naruto was able to beat her on his own, and so now Sasuke says, "Calm, you're the strongest." And basically, they in the end, Sasuke and everyone, of course, they release everyone from the Infinite Tsukuyomi. Naruto says goodbye to Minato, and of course now after this Obito returns to the village, and he becomes the Shadow Hokage, Shadow 6 Hokage, and basically blah blah blah. And of course I might take this into Boruto or not. I did give Naruto Karma Seal, but it is what it is. I hope you enjoyed it. Please stay care, stay safe. This was King of Weebs here, and also subscribe to Ratreet, Miniman123, also Kazama. Follow Shoku on Instagram, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and join my Discord server, and the link in the description below. Also, my ducklings are dismissed, and peace.